Hey and welcome to Tech Tips everybody, with me Jacob. It has been a busy fall and a busy winter, but you might have noticed that we built up our little studio here, and I'm just going to go through a little bit of tips and how we did it to save the cost of the studio, to have more money for lights and such. So anyways, we got this wallpaper here, the brick wallpaper, in a sales bin, which according to this tag was $10. So we bought a whole bunch of these for future projects. If we wanted to expand the studio and do the entire back wall, was one thought, with brick, and we can have something else in front of it. Therefore you can have a couple of different sets in your set. This one is freestanding, so we can take it down and move it if we want to. So it's just an MDF piece that we've wallpapered, and then we found these cool kind of fake brick plastic things that you connect together and made the pillars, and put some angles on them so we can move them and move them around. So if you wanted to expand and make two of them, we can make two corners instead and just do the studio wider if you wanted to. The black things here is a fence piece that you can have for your neighbors not seeing you or block the wind on your deck. So we figured the pattern was really nice, and we just put them together, also at a hardware store. The filters in behind is not broadcast filters. There's also in a sales bin there were the frost filters you have for your windows, again to let light in but nobody sees in. But they frosted just perfectly nice to get the purple in the back to sheen through very nicely, I thought. So that was not much work at all. That took about an afternoon once we started building. So that's some of the things that we had to find us for material. It cost us a couple of $100. Not much at all for building your studio set. So anybody can basically do this. Found a on sale table as well. And we have pieces enough for this to actually make like a front of the table with brick and more of those pieces if you want. So why don't you comment down below if you want us to make that kind of project as well. We can do that as well, not a problem. Alright, so now I'm in a local construction store. It's called Kent. It's like a Home Depot but more construction-y. So here you have like a ton of different materials you could use. You have like soundproofing plates and things like that. So you really just have to look at what you really need, because these can be like painted over and done cool things. These you probably have seen in roof tiles and schools or offices you've been to and such. So there's a lot of materials that you can use for doing your studio bits. And then it's just really just wandering around and seeing what kind of materials you can use, that you can add to your set, and just kind of walk around, see what's available. Make sure you look through all of the sales bins, because you can always get good deals when you look around. And I also found this is pretty cool. So this is like big plates of wood that looks like brick. So it looks like red brick. They're $60 a sheet, so they're not super cheap, but I mean that would be a very quick and efficient way to make studio background. I also think they had like white panel as well. That's brick panel as well. So I mean, if you just look around, there is tons you can do. Doesn't have to say broadcast on it or anything like that, but you can really just build something that looks cozy, it doesn't cost too much, and then just spend your time and money on lights instead. Found another shelf that's really cool. All of these glass pieces right here, they play with light really nice. So anything that is like tiley like this, you can make tons of cool things. Especially if you have a little kitchen set and you want to make it real nice. And now these come in little plastic versions as well, so that's much cheaper. So you just have to look around, so you don't actually buy real marble, but you actually buy the slightly cheaper stuff, because on TV you can't really see. Don't have to spend all of the money on it, so just find the cheaper alternative and then throw light on it. I found the plastic ones. Look. These are all plastic, and they're just stickers you stick on. Like this. Fraction of the price. With the distance and some light, it looks exactly the same as the real stuff. There's also brick stickers. So lightweight, makes it super easy to make your studio bits in different ways. There's also red brick here. So, you just have to look around to see what is the cheaper alternative, so you can see what's, available. You can do a lot of cool things with this, especially if you, again, do a kitchen set or just want to have it as highlights in your wall. Again, throw some light on it, reflects super nice. Yeah, just a tip. Sales bin. So we have this kind of thing we have. Regular 54, now 20. See, told you. There's white brick. How much are you? 20 bucks too? Ooh, that's a nice one. Should probably go grab that actually. White brick's pretty nice. So we can do one more. Change sales bins. Right, back in the studio. So if you put a little bit less in the actual budget for your backgrounds and your studio pieces, then you can add more budget to your lights. So you can have backlight, key light, front light, and all the color lights as well. So then you can actually go in and put some money into getting a little bit better lights, so they can get a little bit further away. You can get soft boxes and other attachments to them as well, which will help in the other studio things. You can take them with you and do other shoots as well. So I recommend that you put your money on the cameras, the lenses, and the lights more than actual background studio piece. This you can actually cut down the price a lot and have a couple of different options as well. I mean, you could just re-wallpaper this and do something wider, or you can make a wider wallpaper piece and then have wider corners if you're going to have a interview piece, for example, with 3 people, because since we only are 2, it doesn't take so much space in behind. Just figure out what space you have, and if you're going to have multiple different layers or different backgrounds, then you can make sure that you can make them flat or foldable, so you can then stack them as well. So make sure that you plan ahead and make sure that you have a space to store them when you make the pieces that size, and figure out the way to make them detachable, because these are detachables on the top, so you just have screw each of them to detach them if you wanted to do something else. If you also wanted to, you could paint one side in a silver color or white color and have one black, so then you can just turn them around, so you can at least get a couple of different studios if you have a not the same set that we do all the time. If you wanted to change the colors, super easy, just change it in the background, because it's lights and not wallpaper on the sides. So there's so many things you can do in getting like some rotation in your backgrounds and your studios. So if you're going to have different people coming in, you can do different colors, you can have different brick, you can have wood panel instead of brick, and just change it out. So if you build the pieces in sections, you can combine them and get many more variations of your studio. So that's a great tip. You can get a little bit more if you just take a peek in the sales bin and see what they have around, and what you can make into a studio more than just buying backdrops of paper, for example. So this can be much more fun, and it gets more dynamic, I feel, than using, for example, a green screen and downloading the backgrounds. Like, I really like the feel of getting the real depth of a real studio. Before I let you guys go, I just had to say I ran back to the store to grab a few things, because this is a too good an opportunity to miss to do a little bit of a Jake Rigs. So what I did pick up is some of these glass squares. I picked up some of the sticky squares and some sticky bricks. So we're gonna attach and show you a little bit of the difference in what you get and stuff. All right, and just a little backstory. When Amanda came home from the store, she brought me one of these white ones, some 2x4s, and said, let's make a studio. And that's one way to do it. And then when she sent me to find the filters or something to diffuse light, I found the actual bars that you put up and do the backgrounds with. This little thing here, let's see if we can get a shot of it there. It's just a little schematic that we drew up of how to build this thing. So, not much to it, but you have to have some form of blueprint when you build stuff. All right. Also, as in the video you saw, I picked up the white roll of wallpaper as well. Wallpaper is really simple to use, so it's a good choice. Some of them are textured too, so let's just attach these glass pieces. They were like $8 plus taxes on sale. They're very nice. So very heavy. So, I mean, they're beautiful, but there's a lot of extra work to it. So I had to cut the MDF piece to, adhere this to. So I'm just gonna slap on some adhesive on it. We're gonna do a little experiment after. Let's see if this works. Or not how much we need in this stuff. Smear it on. Smear it on. Doing the glass part first because it has to dry a little bit before we can show you guys or everybody. Try to make them as even as possible. These are beautiful, actually. Beautiful. And as you might see, I'm just doing a little bit of a tester. If I want to do a full background, I would have a bigger piece. But I can use these as photo backgrounds for now. Anyways, so it shouldn't be too bad. All right, have a little bit of an edge there. Here we go. Something like that. And grouting after and such. Did a bit of space in between. There you go. Didn't take many minutes. Full of glue now though. Don't want that on the other stuff. So see if I can slide this to the side. Something like that. Alright. Let's do the other pieces. Put them on top here for now. So these are just a couple of bucks at the dollar store. And it's just like foam for basically kids doing home projects on. So I'm going to use that as a base. As you can see, much thinner than what the other one is for the glass. Let's see here. Alright, so these ones you can cut the size if you want to. Let's see. Do it back on like so. Should do a long one. Maybe for this one I'll just make a long one. Like so. And then if I want I can just cut the edges off afterwards. Where it goes. Alright. So these cost a little bit more than the glass sheet per glass sheet, but you'd only have to get a very cheap part to hold it, and then just literally stick them on there. So I mean, you pay a little bit for convenience. That's about it. Put one down there. Towards the line. Think back to all your Lego times of putting stickers on, put them straight. Get the edges down. And these are textured, so they look like bricks sticking up, which is kind of nice. There, and then we'll put the other one here. With that, on with this. There you go. So do you have a little bit of a brick wall as well? Fairly simple, as I said. And now for the fake glass. So this is the option to having proper glass. This one came in a little 4-pack. Also, if you have a kitchen set that you want to kind of renew, here and there, then it's easy just to get these with taping straight on the backsplash too, and renew your kitchen that way. Both in real life and in the studio. There you go. All right, so now we have a couple of options here, so that's pretty nice. Wonder if I can hold them behind me so you can see roughly what it would look like behind me. That's it there instead. Brick one instead, this one. Ooh, it's heavy now. Here we go. Not too bad. Now, what you also could do is have this as a floor background for photography, like put up another thing behind, and you can shoot against it there. Alternatively, use the other one as well. So now you can have a little bit of a product shot place as well. And you can just put them against a bottom like this, and then have a photo background as such, if you want to. So let's see what they look like. And it gives you some options to shine some light on it. It'll reflect differently depending on the material. Just remember, glass is super nice, but it's very heavy, like all tile. These ones weigh nothing. They're super easy just to move around. You can have one background here and one here. So you can just flip them depending on how big a backgrounds you want to make. Also, like you have a background like this, you might not need it all the way down to the floor. So that's another easy thing to do. And with that, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you ring the bell for notification and like and subscribe, and then I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.